Good evening, everybody. We were approached by the media in Eswatini to discuss our opinion about what His Majesty King Mswati III has said regarding the dialogue in Eswatini. This is what we have discussed, and this is what we will address. We, as the Eswatini movement and the nation of Eswatini, cannot dialogue with an individual who has continuously murdered innocent citizens mercilessly. He did not stop there. He went on and insulted them, saying they are drunkards and darker smokers. Some of the crimes committed by Mswati include, but are not limited to, children being tortured in fire, pupils being shot at close range, children being beaten, as young as under 12 years old. Buses were commanded to stop and passengers were tear-gassed, while doors were blocked to avoid passengers escaping. As the passengers fled through the window emergency exits, they were blatantly shot. As we speak, funerals are happening daily in the country. People are living in constant fear for their lives. The nation has and is being brutalized. These are serious crimes, and we no longer want or need such a leader because Swazi lives are not valuable or important to him at all. In the meantime, I would like to remind the audience that previously we had a visit from SADC, Troika organization, who came for a peace fact-finding mission. They too concluded on the same thing about dialogue, but guess what? It got worse. There have been heinous, despicable crimes against humanity committed by Mswati, also known as King Mswati III, which he needs to be put on trial for. We call upon the United Nations forces to hear us as a nation and come on the ground to monitor and investigate what has happened and is continuing to happen in the nation. Furthermore, we plead with the International Criminal Court in the Netherlands to thoroughly investigate and try King Mswati for the crimes he has committed against humanity. On the trial list is also his accomplices, former Army Commander Jeffrey Chabalala, Acting Army Commander Fagutse, Principal Secretary of Defense Sikalo, and Minister of Commerce Mangloba Khumalo, former Acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku, who let slip the situation from the beginning, covering for King Mswati and his forces, Minister of IT Princess Sikanyiso, who fabricated a lie on international media and declared there were foreign mercenaries in the country who were killing Swazi citizens, yet it was the very local security forces. With these names mentioned, and as a nation we believe the International Criminal Court should try and persecute them for all these crimes. We are thankful for SADC for what they have done, but without a peacekeeping force on the ground, we are afraid there won't be peace in this country. We also call upon the United Nations Human Rights Commissioner to send representatives to come and monitor the situation in Swaziland, Eswatini. We call upon the world at large to put their matter of violence on the human rights agenda, Resolution 5.1, Item number 4, which speaks of sanctions in various entities in the government on King Mswati III. Matters requiring the Council's urgent attention to end violence in Eswatini. However, we call upon the UN Human Rights Council to formulate an inclusive constitution to allow political parties to work legally in the country and call for a democratic election before March 2022. Last but not least, we call upon the African Union and SADC to deploy the police standby security forces to come and maintain peace and order. We are too small a population to lose any of the forces, arms. We are too small a population to lose any to the forces' arms. We need your help. Thank you for the platform. I was also asked a question as to whether the Swazi people should participate in the Incwala ceremony, because the king has mentioned that dialogue will only happen after the Incwala ceremony. My response to that is, I was asked this considering that I am a born-again Christian. My answer to that is, I believe, and we believe, as the Free Eswatini movement, that we cannot, as a nation, participate in the Incwala ceremony. The Incwala ceremony is not is a very paganistic ritual, which does not include the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or the Bible God, the God of the Christians. We, as a Swazi nation, are a Christian country, and these are barbaric practices and no longer need to be implemented in the 21st century. So we, as the Free Eswatini movement, condemn the Incwala ceremony. We also would like to let the Swazi people that they no longer need to participate in the Incwala ceremony, as we now know what happens during the Incwala ceremony. God condemns a lot of these practices in the Word of God. Some of the practices include murdering of children, which is barbaric. And also, it includes a lot of vile practices with animals. And this is an abomination according to the Word of God. None of this is Christian behavior at all. So we would just admonish the Swazi people, keep your children at home and do not participate in this satanic ritual. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Have yourself a great day.